All right. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Brand Builder series. Today, we have a special guest with us, Ciara Futrell, the owner of the Quality Code. From my understanding, the Quality Code is a lifestyle brand. I see that you all offer a variety of products, whether it be the apparel, the affirmation cards, and various different things of that nature. But I did also want to give you the opportunity to just give the audience a little background of what the quality code is.
Yeah, so the Quality Code, you kind of hit it right on the head. It's a lifestyle brand. So we kind of say we focus on cracking the code to living a quality life. So we make sure that all of our products focus on intentional daily use. So it's meant to give you a self assessment of your habits, your goals, and your financial behaviors. And then we also love to practice like healthy lifestyle living, practice mental wellness, and making sure that we're always striving and becoming and being.
Okay, great. Definitely sounds like you all kind of cover a wide variety of things and just, personal development and things of that nature. But I guess just to start, I'm curious kind of what sparked the idea for the quality code and just you embarking on this particular path.
Yeah, so I actually started the Quality Code as a blog. So I had graduated college and I went into a state of like not really know what I wanted to do in my life. I didn't really have any direction as far as where I wanted to be. At all. Like I had developed I had did so many things in school that when I graduated, I wasn't really prepared for adult life, as they say. And so I've always been a very type A personality, always a go getter, always wanting to, strive and do the next thing. And so I started a blog because I had so much time on my hands. I didn't have a job at the time, but I was starting to learn and develop healthy like lifestyle traits. I loved like waking up and starting a routine. I loved being able to read, and I was starting to get a lot more knowledge, like self-help, and I kind of fell in love with that process. So I started Quality Code as a blog to educate people, to encourage people, and kind of like an empowerment thing. I used to just post like quotes and do little like song of the day and stuff like that. And so something kind of impulsed me to do my first product, which was a planner. I always use planners, throughout my entire life. It was kind of like a second nature type of thing. I basically lived out of a planner, and I really wanted to give a tool that gave light to what I was talking about. So I felt like a planner was kind of like that natural thing. It was something I wanted to try out. And so I began the process of making one. And so that took a little bit of time, having to learn how to, manufacture, how to sell, how to design. Like I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. So I tried to do it by myself for a little bit, and then I try to work with somebody to do it. And it took a lot of time and attention to get that done. And so once I got that done, I had no idea how to market it. I didn't know what I was doing to sell it. I mean, I kind of just threw it out there, and of course your family and friends, they buy from you. And then it kind of took fire a little bit in 2021. And people were like, I was getting into contact with like schools and stuff, and they were like, hey, so and so told me you to do a planner, like we'll order a bulk. I'm like, okay, cool, so I started doing that. And then from there, I was like, really, as I'm diving deeper, I'm transitioning through life, stuff is happening. I started thinking like, how can I expand on this? And so I would always put in my emails and little marketing stuff. I used to always put like stay coded, like at the bottom of them, and just kind of like a signature tray line type of thing. And people were like, won't you do merchandise? And I was like, I don't really want to be a clothing brand. Like, I don't want people to be like, oh, she sells clothes, but I was like, why not? It could be something in between as I'm working on different products, like something fun to do. Well, people loved it. And like I started out with doing like hoodies. I think hoodies and t-shirts. And so people love the hoodies, they love the t-shirts. And then I'm trying to think. I kind of veered off and started doing like more clothes because I seen more people like those types of things. But now I'm getting back into like my product line. Like I really want to start developing more products, starting to build on the actual stationery brand that Quality Code is now becoming. It didn't start that way, but it's becoming that now.
Wow, wow. Definitely sounds like it's been quite the journey. You definitely hit on a lot of various different key points just in what you just shared, whether from the product sourcing, finding manufacturers to, building community, marketing the products. All of those particular aspects and components are so critical, in the journey of a business owner. But just from the research that I've done and things of that nature, it really seems like you've built quite the community around Quality Code, and it sounds like there's a lot of people just invested in your brand that seem to have been able to gain a lot from what you have to offer. Could you just speak to some of the ways in which you've been able to just build the community? I've seen the events that you had. It looked like I've seen you had Zoom conversations and things of that nature. Can you kind of just share some insight regarding that?
Yeah, so I always been a person of community. I've always loved being like around other people and talking to people. And so that was kind of like a natural thing. It was something I started back in 2021, which I didn't realize I'm probably gonna bring it back. But I started doing like monthly little breakdowns, and it would only be like 4 or 5 people on there, and it would just, we'll just talk about our month and like things we want to do next month. And from there, I started doing markets. So I'll say, I guess 20, was that 2023? Probably 2023. I started back like actually, no, I'll take it back. 2021, I did my first market. So that was the only product I had was my planner. And I just, would talk to people and people like, oh, this is so positive. This is so reinforcing. Like a lot of people aren't doing this. Like you should, keep going with this. Right. So after that, I actually started doing more like I wanted to do workshops. I was kind of veering into like the workshop space a little bit. That wasn't really for me. I kind of wanted to stay in more like the goal setting, just talking to people type of lane. And it wasn't really working as far as like getting people to come out and stuff. And sometimes I feel like too, like people get burnt out on the whole workshop thing. Like you throwing workshops all the time, and a lot of people don't want to do that. So I was like, what is something that people can do that can come to and like feel like they're getting something out of it? Like our biggest thing is intention. Our biggest thing is making sure that you're coming to something, or that you're listening into something, and you're leaving feeling like you have some type of plan. You feel relaxed. You feel like you can, strategize for the month. You took a breath. Those are the things that I want to focus on with events and things that we've done. And so back in 2023, I'm in Nashville. You in Nashville?
Oh, no, I'm in Indianapolis.
Oh, okay, Indy.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure.
we a
So
long
yeah.
way, we a long ways away.
Yeah, I have some friends in Indy. So
Okay.
but anyway, so we have a market down here. It's called the Nashville Black Market. And so I did my first one back in June of 2023. And from there, like it kind of exposed me to like people and people in the Nashville community. And so I started just getting plugged in with certain people. And then I did a program called Corner to Corner. And it's a program down here that helps minority owned businesses come up with your business plan. They help you with marketing, come up with just all these amazing things, right? And so I got plugged in with them, and they host seminars and things like that. So I felt like me putting my face out there is what really helped build my brand up. And I have so many huge goals for Quality Code, but it in the process that I'm in right now, that's what's been most effective is just taking risk and putting myself out there and talking to people and listening. Like, okay, and asking the questions of like, how do you strategize? How do you goal plan? Do you use a planner? Why don't you use it? What are your issues with it? How can we assist you to be more intentional? I hear you talking about all these goals, but are you writing them down? So I started to really dive deeply in with people, pulling that emotional connection with people. And so the more I was in the community, the more I started to meet other business owners, and I would connect like, hey, we should partner on something. We should do something together. And that's kind of been the strategy for 2024, is trying to partner with other like-minded people to do things. So at the beginning of the year, well, actually in February, the beginning of February, we did a yoga class. And that was fun. And then we just this past weekend did a candle making class for International Women's Month. So I'm looking forward to doing like more things like that are where you can tie in conversation, goal building strategy, kind of the stay coded way of life, and then also having an activity tied to that. So yeah.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, you said a lot of key things there. One of the key things that you said was really just, getting out there, getting in the community. In the social media and digital age, it can be easy to just try to do everything on your phone, behind the community, behind the computer and things of that nature, but it really does, make a big difference when you really get out there, network, build relationships, find out who the community organizations in your area are and things of that nature. And then another key thing you said was really just collaboration. Collaboration I found is another very effective way, for, just getting your business out there, and building your brand, so yeah, that's definitely great. So it really sounds like, you have a really, just business savvy mind. So I'm really kind of just curious, how did you cultivate and really just educate yourself, in the area of business? What are the key tools, resources, maybe even some books that you read that really kind of just, gave you that grounding?
Yeah. So I kind of always been the type. I mean, I grew up a single mom, and like always kind of seeing the grind in a way. And so I'm also the oldest grandchild and child, so always having to have that leadership type mindset and always having to lead by example. And then I guess, I mean, I went to school and I did major in business, so I learned a little bit about business. I really was triggered by like finance. I really like was intrigued to learn about like stocks and like how the finance ecosystem worked. Like those types of things interest me. But I think it wasn't until like I hit that rock bottom after I graduated to where I had to figure out like what was next for me, that I didn't really get an interest into business. And so once I started reading, I think the one of the first books I read, which a lot of people tell you to read, is Rich Dad Poor Dad. That
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that book. I liked that book. It was eye opening, especially if you coming out and you're not really knowing like a direction, or you're not really good with money, or you're not Rich Dad Poor Dad is it's a beginner book. I just feel like it should always be in rotation. One of my favorite books to read is Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits is such a good book. I love Atomic Habits. What's another one? Oh, I read a lot of good books. It's another book. It's called The Power of Moments.
Okay.
Book is good. And then also The Power of Habit too. The Power of Habit is good too. So it kind of just made you dive in a little bit as far as like, oh, why do I act this way? Why am I doing this? Or where's okay, if I want to see success in this area, I need to be operating XYZ. And then some other resources, I would say, podcasts. Earn Your Leisure is my top favorite podcast. I
Yeah.
love Earn Your Leisure. I listen to Earn Your Leisure
For
every Monday.
sure, for sure. Yeah, actually, they were. It's funny you said that they was out here for All Star Weekend
Oh,
last
really?
month, and I met Rashad and
Oh,
Troy.
nice.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that was dope. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually did InvestFest last
Oh,
year.
you did?
I was a vendor at InvestFest. That was
Okay.
like another big leap moment for me. Like,
Okay.
took a big risk in doing that, but I met so many dope people, and so that was
Yeah.
probably one of my favorite top memories of 2023 for sure. Was
Okay.
InvestFest.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, but I started listening to them back in 2019 when they first kind of started out, and I was kind of in a phase
Okay.
of transitioning as well. So I started listening to them, and they just, I guess seeing how their journey, how they propelled from where they've started, like has really helped me. It's encouraging, it's nice, it's inspirational. And then they just always dropping gems and knowledge and stuff. So I have my few. Ronnie Brown is another person I used to listen to. I still listen to her from time to time as well. As far as like career building, and actually she was one of the first people I started listening to. But once you kind of enter that space, you start figuring out like who are some other people and things and resources. I would just say enter the space and then stay consistent in it. So figure out your times and stuff, but always be willing to learn and apply the knowledge. Like you have to have a mindset of wanting to grow and wanting to learn at all times, no matter what plateau you hit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's all great advice, and I appreciate you sharing that. So just to pivot real quick, I've seen that Quality Code has a variety of different products. Like I was saying in the beginning, I've seen the affirmation cards, the journals and things of that nature. So can you kind of just dive into the content that's within, just the journals and affirmation cards and things of that nature? I seen one of the key things that you were really talking about was, just developing the intentional habits and things of that nature. So can you just talk about that?
Yeah, so I'll start with our journal. So the journal we launched last year is called a reflection journal. So it's a quarterly journal. It just has 3 months of work in it, and it's very, very easy to use. So I designed this journal with the intention, with the making sure that you have the habit to use it intentionally on a daily basis. If you use it on a daily basis, you will see results from it. And basically the work of it is in the morning you just talk about your intention. What do you intend to do? What does my soul need today? And how am I affirming myself? So those are 3 questions in the morning. And it has you like say, what's my mood today? How am I feeling right now? And I always tell people to use it before they do any type of work. Before you even open a laptop, before you do anything for the day. My favorite time to use it is like when I get back from the gym in the morning, I come straight in and I'll use my journal. Or after I read my Bible in the morning, I'll use my journal. Just when I'm in like kind of that mood to sit down and like take 5 seconds to analyze myself. And then at night, same type of vibe. When you're winding down for the night and you're about to go to bed, pull out your journal and reflect on the things that you said that morning that you said you were going to do, or the way that you were feeling, and see how your day ended and see, oh, did I hit these benchmarks? Did I say, did I really affirm myself with this today? Did my day go left or did it go right? That's basically all it's asking. It also has monthly challenges in there. So I put 3 monthly challenges. It's a healthy mindset challenge. It's a money challenge in there. It's a self-care challenge in there. And then it has like pages in the back if you like to vent, or if you just had a day where you just kind of want to like lay it out on paper. It has that in there as well. So that's one of my favorite things I've ever created. It was a fun project. It's also been an enlightening one as well. My affirmation cards. So affirmations are something that kind of come in the territory. I love affirmations. I feel like people benefit from affirmations a lot. I do work full time too, so I got my first deck of affirmation cards from my mom like 3 or 4 years ago, and I was like, these are really nice. I used to put them on my desk, and during the pandemic when I was working, like I would always flip to a new card, and they were just kind of resetting that mindset of like, okay, I got this, or just reaffirming something in me if I was having a rough day. And so I felt like my audience could benefit from that. So I created a deck. It's 180 cards, and it's 3 different categories of cards. So there's money mantras in there. Money mantras basically affirm you of financial abundance. They make sure that you are financially sound. They affirm that you make good financial decisions. And then you have, what's the other ones? Quality living. So quality living cards are focused on just big, lively goals, like making sure that you are speaking positively about the way of life, the way that you want to live your life. And then the last one is self-love cards. So just telling you you love yourself, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you do great things, you're gonna be a great person. And so I created those too. Now I did put a card stand in those as well. So you just kind of flip those throughout the day, pick which category you like or which category you need for the day, and just flip them, read them to yourself, and they can be used with the journal as well too, to kind of give you a little 2 for 1.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I definitely think I might have to get one of those journals. I've been trying to get more
Oh
into
yeah, I got
journaling
you.
myself, so
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
copy that for sure. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of just curious. Could you speak to, let's say, like any type of testimonials you may have received from people that have used the products, how it's impacted their daily routines, and kind of just been transformational in their lives, maybe?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So I actually just got a really good testimonial. So
Okay.
somebody he's bought maybe 5 or 6 decks of affirmation cards. They make amazing gifts for people, especially people
Oh,
like within their 20s and kind of that transformational type period of life. They said that like people love them, they keep them on their desk. Like if they're having a hard day, I've even had some testimonials where people say I'll flip one and it's like almost spot on to like what I'm feeling that day. It's not even like I'll just pick something random and it's like boom, like this is happening for the day. I've also had some people, this one girl, she told me that she uses her journal every day, and it's honestly gave her that just moment to herself to where she's able to be intentional and set something for the day, and it sets the tone for the day too, because you've already said I'm affirming this is what I'm going to do today and this is what I need today. So you're going about your day with those thoughts and actions in mind.
okay, that's great. And so, are all your products available on your website, or are they on Amazon, or where are people
Yes.
able to purchase them?
Yeah, everything's on my website. They're
Okay.
all available there. Anything we have available is typically listed on our website.
Okay. Okay. Another question I have for you, kind of just surrounding the goals aspect. So in today's day and age, with the social media and various different things of that nature, I feel like it can be hard for especially young people to, kind of just stay focused on their own goals and, without getting distracted, by like the social media goals and things of that nature. So I'm curious, in what ways do you feel like your products and product line has been beneficial to kind of just help people stay focused and grounded, on themselves and their goals?
Yeah, so I think that it helps them break them down. A lot of times we set goals that are like really, really large and we want to accomplish them in a really short period of time. Like honestly, a year goes by so fast, right? And I feel like I make sure that my products are chewable. Like I don't want you to just write down a big stretch goal and then try to tackle it every day with no strategy. I feel like the quality codes products give you strategy, they give you intention, right? So you can come back and review. They make you think about, okay, this is my big goal, but here are 3 action items, here are 4 or 5 things that I need to do in order to reach them, here are the milestones I have to hit in order to hit those goals. And so a lot of products don't really give you that breakdown. They have you write it out, but they're not giving you that intent to say, okay, here's my plan in order to get there. So we really, really focus on that. And that's why I try to not make my products like this big, massive thing, because that could be intimidating for a lot of people. Also, I keep all my stuff undated. I don't put any dates in any of my products because I want to make sure that, one, we're honoring that we're all human. Stuff happens and, you may not use it every day, or you may only
Okay.
need it for a certain season, right? Like you may have a big goal that you're trying to hit, and you need something to help you strategize for that season, and the next season may be something completely different and you need something else to use. So we want to make sure that we're creating products that honor the human mind and make sure that you are able to break things down so that they make sense to you, they're chewable, and they're obtainable within a short period of time.
Okay. That's great. That's definitely one of the key things you said is, like with a lot of, to your point, with a lot of journals and products in that area, you do see the dates and things, and they have like for 2024 or certain months and things, but that chewable aspect is definitely important. So I just have a couple more questions for you. I know we're getting short on time, but one thing that kind of caught my attention when I was reading through what the quality code has to offer is just the financial aspect that you all have, and just the financial literacy aspect. So could you kind of just speak to that specifically, the ways in which you all try to just promote financial literacy, whether that be budgeting or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, so we're very, very heavy into like making sure that you're able to manage your funds. If you are trying to obtain any type of goal, dream, mission, whatever you got going on, you're gonna find it. The financial part is a really big part in that, right? You can't do anything until you're financially sound. So my goal is to be able to provide resources and able to manage your money more effectively. Make sure that you're hitting those milestones in groups. So we do put like budgeting tools in our journals. Like my reflection journal has a no spend challenge in there. It's just something easy to do for 30 days where you don't spend excessive money, right? Also in my planners, I always put a monthly budget page in there, making sure that you can break it down your budget for the month. I'm also working on some other products that are geared towards budgeting and making sure that you're keeping your money sound, because again, our goal is to make sure that you're intentional and making sure that you are actually hitting those milestones and goals that you talk about that you want to do. And I've learned through my experience that a big part of that is making sure that you're financially sound.
Okay, that's great. And kind of just moving to my last question. I heard you say earlier, you have a full-time job as well, and you're also the founder of the Quality Code. So could you kind of just speak to, balance? How do you balance a full-time job and then also, running a business full-time as well?
Yeah, so sometimes balance does not exist. Sometimes you're needed in more spaces, in one space than you are the other. Sometimes you kind of just have to structure what you need for the day. So build my business and as well keep all my tasks together for my job, because I don't have just a job, I have a demanding job. Like I don't have a just like a something I do from 9 to 5. Like no, I have something that I'm required to be present for. And
Okay.
so in order for me to stay focused on those things, I do have to allocate time. So whether if it's in the morning, I have to get up, I still want to, work out. And before 8 o'clock hits, I'm making sure that I'm writing out what my plan is for the day. And I try not to push everything in on one day, right? So if there's something that, whether it's responding to emails and stuff, like I've actually carved out in my time frame. Not everybody's able to do this. But like for me, I have a little bit of flexibility as far as work goes. So I'll take an hour and a half. I've used to use my lunch break as well to work on my business. Like I don't just sit around and not do anything. Like I'm working like on my business during lunch while I'm eating, and making sure that like I'm able to stay on top of those things. Another good thing is automation. Automate as much stuff as you possibly can. Like I love to send out emails. That's kind of how I started my business out, was with emails and sending blog posts and stuff. So sending automating those weekly emails. I also send daily text messages. So automating the daily text messages that I send. And then also coming up with a content strategy. And I've fallen off a few different times as far as like keeping up with the strategy that I've set for myself, because sometimes it can be overwhelming, and that's again just a human experience. You just rework and try it again. But that's kind of the thing. Like, there's no really balance to it. There's no like this is what's going to work. It's kind of a day by day basis. I'm always comparing schedules as well. Like if I have a ton of meetings one day and then, quality code, I have two or three, things going on that week, later that week that I have to prepare for. I have to allocate that time, and you have to make sure you're going to the day, making sure you have strategy. Again, writing things out is the best way to do that. Spending time before you start your day to actually prepare for your day is what's going to make sure that those days are successful for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely key. And I promise we almost done, but I just had one more question that kind of just
Yeah.
came to my mind when you was talking about the automation and everything of that nature. So with the onset of artificial intelligence and AI, I'm wondering, is there been any ways that you've implemented it to help you automate your task and be more productive on a daily basis?
Oh, for sure. I think any smart business owner should be utilizing AI at this point. We're at a day and age where that's essential. I'm actually trying to figure out now how I'm going to incorporate AI in my business, because at this point, that's what's going to be, the big ticker for a lot of successful businesses going forward. And so AI does help a lot when it comes to generating ideas. Sometimes I have a hard time saying, okay, once you know your audience, you can be like, okay, what do I need to talk to them about? What's a topic that I can like break down so that they can, get it. So it does help a lot. It helps you generate just things that you probably wouldn't think of at first, like, oh, that's a good thing to talk about, or here's something that I could do content wise. Especially when it comes to content, like that's like the biggest thing for me is when using AI is like the content aspect of it, and making sure like, okay, I may ask like, what type of reel should I do for this type of topic, or what's a event idea when I want to talk to my audience about X, Y, and Z. So yes, I'm utilizing what's for me at this point, and I want to make sure that going forward, like I'm able to integrate it into my business as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. You know the quote they always say, "Work smarter, not harder." So, hey, I don't see
Absolutely,
nothing
and
wrong.
I'm 10 toes down on that. Okay, I definitely don't. And it took me a minute to learn that. Like I always felt like hard work was like the way of life and how you supposed to be doing. Like, you're supposed to be working, but no. As you grow and with a busy schedule, you got stuff going on all the time. It's important to make sure you're utilizing the tools, and that's definitely something I learned last year too. Is to outsource as much as possible. Ask for help, okay? Like if you don't know what's going on, you need help in certain divisions. There's so many people in specialty fields that can help you generate, whether it's a marketing person or a brand strategist, financial people, whatever. Like ask for help so that you're able to reach your goals and your milestones, and be willing to pay. Be willing to do
Yeah.
that. Like you have to. It's just it. I wanna be like the Nike when it comes to stationary products. Like I want like somebody pull out quality code, anything that we have, they're like, ooh, I want that. Where'd you get that? I need that. That's how I see my brand. And so in order for me to get there, I have to lay down that foundation so that it's successful.
Okay. Wow, that's great. And I know we mentioned some books earlier, in the podcast, but I don't know if you read Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, but if you haven't,
What is it
definitely
called?
Shoe Dog. Yeah,
Do
Shoe
dog?
Dog by Phil Knight. Yeah,
Uh-uh. Shoot
yeah,
dog.
I would
Feel night.
definitely
That's Nike, right? Shoot dog.
yeah, Phil Knight,
Yeah.
the owner of Nike. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a real good book. I would definitely check that out as well. It's definitely up there with the Rich Dad Poor Dad. So
Really?
yeah,
Okay. That's a
yeah,
new one for me. I haven't heard of that one yet.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
absolutely. But kind of just even along those same lines as we wrap up this episode, can you kind of just speak to just some of the goals you have for the quality code? I heard you just say you want to be the Nike when it comes to stationary products and things of that nature. So can you kind of just speak to what the goals you have and kind of what you have coming up in the future?
Yeah, so I definitely want to grow my product line extensively. So that's something that I'm focusing on is just developing good physical and digital products. I do want to be based in a multitude of stores. I want to one day walk down to Target out and see Quality Code products, Marshalls, um, Office Depot, Staples. Like I want to be in these stores and I want to be able to market that way. I also want to be a resource to. I want to work more business to business as well. So, whether there's conferences, vendor opportunities, just partnering with different big time businesses and figuring out how the quality code can implement in these spaces. That's something that I have a goal for as well. And yeah, down the line, I just want to continue to create space and build my community up to where they know what to come to the quality code for and use us as a resource to help them on their journeys for personal and career growth.
That's what's up. And just lastly, could you just let the people, let the audience know where they can connect with you at? Online, and I heard you say you were mentioned you're located in Nashville, so kind of just let the people know how the best way they can connect with you and follow along your journey.
Yeah, so my favorite way to connect is definitely Instagram. So make sure you're following the Quality Code on Instagram. We're also on Facebook and we're trying to grow our TikTok audience. So connect with us on TikTok. And if you're a Pinterest type person, we're on Pinterest too. So connect with us there. You can find all of our products or any brand information at thequalitycode.com. Make sure to check us out on there. We are at various of events. So just making sure that you sign up for our email newsletter that we send out every week, where we will tell you, where we're at that week, what we have going on, and to staying up for new products because there's some new stuff coming out. So be on the lookout for that.
Okay, that's what's up. Well, Ciara, we appreciate you coming on to the Brand Builders series, sharing your wealth of knowledge. I'm definitely excited about what you have coming up with the quality code and just excited to follow along your journey. And definitely got to get one of those journals as well. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I would love to send
appreciate
you
you.
one.
Appreciate you coming on. And that's a
Yeah.
wrap. That's a wrap, folks. Thank you.
Great.